Hey guys, today's topic is there is no such thing as original thought. Well, there is, but it might not be what you think it is. A lot of people say, be original, come up with your own ideas. But is that even possible? Can we come up with our own ideas? I don't think so. Thoughts do not just come from the ether. They do not just come from the void. It's not possible. All thoughts, and this goes back to when we first learned our native language, all thoughts are implanted in us by our surroundings, by our environment. I know this is probably obvious to most people, but I don't think a lot of people give this a lot of deep thought. And so all phrases, all vocabulary, sentences that we come up with, they're there because we heard them from someone else. So then what is original thought? Like what can it be if it is anything? And that is, I think, when you mesh different ideas together in novel ways. So original thought is basically a collage. So it's like when you clip out sentences from magazines or words from magazines and newspapers and you put them all together. That is what original thought is, in my view. It's cutting out phrases and pasting them in unique ways. And they might not actually always be unique because somebody else could have done it the same exact way, put different ideas together, but you just haven't met those people. So there's probably several people on the planet who have put together an original thought that you thought was original, but actually somebody else did it in the same way, perhaps slightly different. So I guess you could say there's originality there, but at the core, yeah, there's not really original thought in the way people, I think, claim there is when they say that phrase, original thought. And what really made me think of this was I'm an English teacher in Japan, and when I teach English to my students, I'm often listening to their Japanese banter with one another. I'm referring to like elementary school age kids. So they're having conversations and communicating with one another, and I keep hearing the same phrases, almost in the same exact way, from these kids. And I teach like 20 to 30 different classes in a week, and it's just funny how much repetition there is. And these kids haven't met each other. They're in different areas, although they all are in the same city. But it just goes to show that there's certain patterns of expressing oneself. There's certain words that kids say that they pick up from their surroundings, and it's so remarkably similar to one another. And I think we all go through this when we're learning our first language, but we don't realize it, right? We're just imitating those around us. And yeah, there's this standard, not only dialect, but way of talking that appears, that comes to existence when we're learning a language. And all kids are building up their vernacular, they're building up their word bank, their database, and then it gets more and more sophisticated and complex as we get older, so we have more ways of expressing ourselves. But even then, even as adults, we don't really realize how unoriginal we are in our speech and in our writing. And this also makes me think about Chat GPT, AI in general. Like, I think large language models have kind of revealed this side of language communication, in the fact that a machine can take input and produce really coherent output based on the input that we give it. And how is it able to do that? It goes through training of all the different ways humans express ourselves in a particular context, and it's able to reshuffle those around and make sense of whatever topic we're trying to engage with the AI. And yeah, I think it just goes to show that AI, large language models, and our own large language model in our brains are not really that different, I think. So the different patterns that we have in our brains when we are communicating are very much similar to the ones that we're building with AI. Anyway, I don't know if all of that made sense, but let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Is there original thought? If there is, what is it? Is it similar to what I just said, like a collage of phrases and words and ideas we've heard from elsewhere? If not, then what the heck is original thought? So let me know in the comments. Bye bye.